Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, my awesome students. This is Miss Wafa with you. This is gonna be an amazing lesson. It's about models of obligation. الطرق المختلفة للإلزام في اللغة الإنجليزية. So, don't waste time. Let's start. We are starting with must. Use must for strong obligations based on your feelings. Okay? Based on your feelings. It comes from internal, from yourself. For example, you must eat fresh food. You must eat fresh food. So this obligation comes from you, not from outside. Remember, my students, must is used in formal English, okay? Not spoken English, in formal English, especially on signs and notices. Signs and notices, okay? Now we are going to talk about have to. Use have to for obligation depends on rules and laws. Okay, it's an external obligation. Okay, it's an external obligation. Comes from outside, from people around us. Rules and laws. For example, you have to wear a uniform at school. You have to wear a uniform at school. So they force you to oblige to this rule. Okay? And of course, remember that we use have to in daily spoken English, not in formal English, okay? In our daily spoken English. So, must or have to. We find it so difficult for us to decide which to use in our sentence, must or have to. Well, you will never be mistaken when you use have to. Okay, have to. But when you use must in a spoken English, you will sound like odd. Okay, so if you have the choice, use have to. Use have to. But using must will be so difficult for you, and you may seem odd for people to understand. If you found that must and have to are quite similar in meaning, but they are not the same, they are quite similar. Mustn't and don't have to are completely different. Mustn't and have to are completely different. We use mustn't for forbidding things. Okay? You are not allowed to do this. It's forbidden for you. For example, you mustn't smoke at hospitals. You mustn't smoke at hospitals. But don't have to is used for not necessary things. Okay? For unnecessary thing. You can do it if you want. You can do it if you want. Okay? For example, you don't have to come to school on Friday. You don't have to come to school on Friday. But if you want, you may. Okay? Now, let's have this beautiful practice about must, have to, mustn't, don't or doesn't have to. Okay? Put in must, have to, mustn't or don't, doesn't have to. We have a lot of work tomorrow. You, space, be late. We have a lot of work tomorrow. You mustn't be late. The museum is free. You, space, pay to get in. The museum is free. You don't have to pay to get in. I, space, remember to get a present for Mariam. I must remember to get a present for Mariam. You, space, look after your teeth regularly. You have to look after your teeth regularly. If you don't like him, you space see him again. If you don't like him, you don't have to see him again. You space follow school rules. You must follow school rules. Thanks and goodbye. Hope you enjoyed our lesson today.